Greetings, Pokemon fans, and welcome back to Polywar's Wrath. My name is JD, and today we're doing a playthrough of Pokemon Blue using the Bivalve Pokemon Cloyster. Cloyster will be the final Pokemon in my Ice-type challenge. Figure out who the best Ice-type is in Generation 1. I will say this, the Ice-types have been pretty impressive other than Jinx, but there's a big cluster of Ice-types right around a certain part of my tier list. So I don't know if any of them are going to be number 1 on my tier list. However, I think they're making a very compelling case of who the best type is in Generation 1. Without further ado, let's dive into some ins and outs of this Pokemon, then we'll dive into the playthrough. Cloyster is a water-ice type in the slow level up rate. For most Pokemon, the slow level up rate is the kiss of death. However, I don't think it hindered this Pokemon very much. You'll see that in the playthrough. HP is 50, attack is 95, defense is 180, which is the highest in the game. Speed is 70, and special is 85, and we had a critical hit rate of 13.67. The fact that speed is 70 is actually pretty great, because it's a clam. You don't think a clam would be fast, but I do have memories of playing through a Pokemon Snap on N64, and Shelter and Cloyster just hovering above the water, so I guess that's what makes it go fast. It levitates. With that being said, we're going to look at the moveset real quick. This is a Pokemon that evolves via Water Stone, so that's why you don't see a lot of level up moves here. You get 4 to start the game, and Spike Cannon will get at level 50, which we will not use. Withdrawal is our defense upping move, which we have high defense, don't always have this, but it ups our defense, but it also does the badge boost, so we'll have a very good use in this playthrough. Supersonic will confuse the opposition. It's very low accuracy, so it'll have a very niche use, like pretty much gets Misty. Clamp is a move I do not like. It's 35 base power. It hits like Wrap, so it does have a use. However, that accuracy of 75%, not reliable at all. I don't want to rely on this move. I want to get rid of it as soon as possible, and that's where the TM Water Gun will come in Mount Moon. And then Aurora Beam is our bread and butter for the first half of the game until we get Ice Beam. 65 base power, 100% accurate, is about 98 base power with Stab. We will not use a bunch of these TMs, however, this Pokemon does not synergize very well. What I mean by that is we have a higher attacking stat, we have a lower special stat, but we don't get any physical moves via level up, and we get almost no physical damaging moves until pretty much Celadon City. We can get Swift at Lavender Town, but Celadon City is where we're going to get the good ones. Tri-Attack, we can technically get Hyper Beam there, Double Edge. So there's our good physical damaging moves. We can't get them through almost halfway through the game. Does not make sense. And we also can't get Body Slam. Body Slam would be a great move to have with this Pokemon, but we can't access the Body Slam. I don't know why. Other Pokemon can get it. They are kind of the similar kind of Pokemon, but this Pokemon can't get it. It is what it is. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and go right into the playthrough. We named our Pokemon Pearl. We named our rival Derp. And just like with all the other ice water types, we gave our rival Bulbasaur. There's really not a great option. You can argue maybe Squirtle, but then you don't deal with Gyarados. And I think Gyarados is a very tough Pokemon to deal with. That's why I think it's better. We knock out Bulbasaur in one hit with a Aurora Beam, and after this battle, go right into our next one. Now, some things about our playthroughs is, and you'll see this at the end, I got a surprise about our tier list, is you're going to see that I fight this battle, and you're going to say, hey, why do you fight it? It's not mandatory. It's mandatory in my playthroughs. Just like fighting all the bug types in the bug forest, or bug trainers, I should say, it's mandatory in my playthroughs. I also don't use the Pokédog glitch. Some people do that. It's just my rules I play by. So the time I get, I'm not comparing myself to other YouTubers that play this. They have their own rules and they do their own thing, and I respect that. I watch completely different plays. I watched, for example, Squidgy. He refused to use rest. Rest with the what's it called? Whatever the berry is that heals, the mint berry. So that's his rule. That's his rule. And I said that in a couple battles he's had, that this would be a great way to counter some problems. And that's just one of his rules he doesn't use. Just like a lot of trainers don't use Double Team unless you can mimic it. This is my rule. If you're seeing this, like, why are you fighting these battles? You don't have to. Like, I have to. It's part of the rules. Pretty much any battle that's mandatory up until Brock, you have to fight. Like, I have to fight the Million Light Years trainer battle. There are some Pokemon out there that would benefit hugely from not having to fight those battles because they would be in a very precarious situation. I'll give a good example. I'll give an example here in a minute. We're going to face Brock. Brock is the Rock Gym leader. We're going to Forever, and he's going to go down to 1 Aurora Beam, and we're going to down. Onyx is going to go down to 1 Aurora Beam as well. Very easy battle, super easy, very little inconvenience. And the one example I will give is Bellsprout. When I played through with Bellsprout a long time ago, it would behoove Bellsprout to not have to face a second rival because second rival has Pidgey, and Bellsprout's Vine Whip is ineffective, and it also has Charmander. So skipping that would be very beneficial, and a lot of the bug Pokemon because Vine Whip's not effective. However, we beat the Super Duper Nerve, we grabbed the Dome Fossil, all hell the Dome Fossil, We did not add Water Gun yet, but we did add it before we started our battle against Misty. Now Misty, I'm going to pause this for a second. She has good AI. So what good AI tells her is water moves are not going to be effective because we are a water type Pokemon. So she's only going to spam two things. She's going to either do Tackle or X Defend. She will not do any other move. So that gives us the advantage of knowing what she's going to do. So we're going to go for Supersonic and confuse her. Our moves aren't going to do that much damage either. We have Aurora Beam and Water Gun. They're not going to do that much damage. She has very high special as well. If we had a physical damaging move, this would be great because we could use Withdrawal and Badge Boost to make our attack more effective. However, we're not doing that. So we're going to go for Supersonic again. We have our defense upped by 3 stages at this point. And like I said, Aurora Beam isn't going to do much. The only thing we might get out of Aurora Beam is, I don't know, can Aurora Beam freeze in Generation 1? I think it can. If I'm wrong about that, correct me in the comment section down below. But as you can see, Starmie is not doing a lot of damage with Tackle. It only does like 2 or 3 damage at a time. So it ends up being a battle of attrition. We do win, and we do get a big upgrade on our moveset, adding Bubble Beam onto our moveset. Another stab move, very effective, very powerful. So we face our third rival battle, and he's going to come out with a Pidgeotto. Pidgeotto will go down to 1 Aurora Beam, very good. And then Abra's going to come out. We're going to go down to 2 Aurora Beams, a physical move of one-shot Abra if we had it, but we don't. And we one-shot the Rattata, and we one-shot the Bulbasaur. So 10 minutes and 10 seconds it took us to beat our third rival, and now we're down to our fourth rival. We're on SS Sand. There's nothing else we can do here. We can't get Body Slam. So we're just going to go right into our battle with our rival. Rival number 4, and he's going to come out with a Pidgeot, one-shot, Eradicate, one-shot. Kadabra is not a one-shot. It has very high special. It does crit us. That's not fun. And we were confused. So that's not fun either. And that could have gone south pretty quickly. But we're going to go ahead and one-shot. Actually, if it went for like, I don't think it has Razor Leaf, but if it went for Vine Whip, that could have been bad. We're going to move right on from this battle right into the Rock Tunnel and face Boomer the Hiker. We did not want to face Lieutenant Surge because I was afraid we wouldn't outspeed him, and we don't really have a great move for him anyway. And we're with our low special, it's going to one-shot us with Thunderbolt. So I avoided that. We go down and knock out all 3 of Boomer's Pokemon with water moves and move right back into Lieutenant Surge's gym. We got a couple extra levels, and now we're going to go and face them. We have Ice Beam, and we've added Tri-Attack, so that our moveset has improved. Ice Beam is more powerful than Aurora Beam, and Tri-Attack is actually a good physical damaging move. And we get a 2-shot on the Raichu. We beat Lieutenant Surge. Trash Man Lieutenant Surge, as I call him. He's got trash all over his gym. And we move right on to Giovanni. Giovanni number 1 will come out with Onix. Onix will go down to 1, either Ice Beam or Bubble Beam, either one. We'll one-shot him. And then Kangaskhan will come out and get knocked out by 2 Bubble Beams. We beat Giovanni. He's super easy, barely an inconvenience. And now we're moving on to our 5th rival battle in Pokemon Tower. This rival battle is a cinch. We're going to go for Ice Beam on the Pidgeotto. It's a one-shot. Gyarados is the toughest Pokemon we have to deal with this Pokemon because there's nothing great we have against it. We do knock it out in 2 hits, however. Bubble Beam on the Growlithe, that's a knockout. Kadabra, Tri-Attack's a knockout, very good. And the last Pokemon, which is Ivysaur, will go down to 1 Ice Beam. We beat our rival. I'm going to move right on to Erica's gym. I held off Erica's gym for a reason because I was afraid we wouldn't outspeed her Pokemon. And if we don't one-shot with Ice Beam, she could put us to sleep. She could maybe get a critical hit with Razor Leaf, so I was worried about all those things. However, it's an abundance of caution that was not necessary. We one-shot all of her Pokemon. And we go first, we one-shot. It's not even a contest. We beat her and move right on to Koga. Koga is the Poison Gym leader. We don't have anything great for Koga. And what I do here was kind of a moot point. I went for Withdrawal. I went for Withdrawal 6 times, making it so our stats are super boosted, or at least our attack stat and our defense are super boosted. We don't get a boost in anything else until we beat this gym, and we have to beat Blaine. So our special and speed won't go up until we beat Blaine. Or, I'm sorry, our special won't go up until we beat Blaine, and our speed won't go up until we beat Koga. We're getting about the same result with all the Pokemon. It's going to be a 2-shot with every Pokemon. The only difference is Weezing is a 3-shot. And I tried going to Ice Beam, see if it did more damage. It does about the same. Nothing different there, but we get a pretty easy win over Koga. Could have been a lot faster if I just went for Ice Beam and didn't worry about badge boosting. However, get the win and move right on to Blaine. Blaine is the Fire Gym leader, and we're going to have a pretty easy time here. We are Ice type, so he can hit us with fire moves and be super effective. However, water kind of counters that, so it's neutral. Bubble Beam is one-shotting almost everyone except for the Rapidash. Like I said, we cannot badge boost here, so you just got to go for Bubble Beam and go for broke. Fire Blast does a little over half our damage, but we get the win over Blaine, pretty easy win, and now our special and speed can be boosted. We can be fully boosted going into any battle if we want to. So now we're going to face our 6th rival battle in Silphco, and he's going to come out with a Pidgeot. We're going to go ahead and hit Ice Beam on the Pidgeot. We don't want to set up on Pidgeot. It's not a great Pokemon to set up on, because he can go for Sand Attack. Now, the next battle with our rival, he won't have Sand Attack, so we can set up without him with impunity. So we two-shot the Gyarados. We're going to now set up on the Growlithe. We get burned, but it's not a big deal. We're really not using that much physical moves other than Alakazam. And that did a lot of damage considering the fact our burning cuts your physical attack stat in half. So, yeah, that's not great. But we do beat our rival pretty handily in Silphco, and that leads us right into our second Giovanni fight. Giovanni's going to come out, and he's going to come out with Nidorino. Like I said, he's pretty much a pushover for most people, and he's a pushover for us. Ice Beam will one-shot his entire team if we want to stick with that. Ice Beam on the Kangaskhan. Ice Beam on the Rhyhorn, very good. Ice Beam on a Nidoqueen, very good. We obliterate Giovanni and his whole team, move right into Sabrina. Sabrina and her whip. And she's going to come out with Psychic-type Pokemon. Nothing really great against us. It can hurt us a little bit because we don't have great special. Psychic moves can do a decent amount of damage if we don't pay attention. But we're setting up, our stats are boosted, and now we're just sweeping. Ice Beam on the Venomoth, very good. One Pokemon left, Alakazam is Tri-Attack, a one-shot. It is not. It hung on by like just a smidge. One more badge boost would have knocked that Pokemon out. However, we get the win over Sabrina and her whip and move right on to the Giovanni number 3 fight. Giovanni number 3 is as easy as Giovanni number 1 and number 2. He has actually more Pokemon that were super effective against. He's got rid of Kangaskhan, which was neutral. So now we're going to go for Bubble Beam on the Dugtrio. Nidoqueen, we're going to go for Ice Beam on the Nidoqueen. It's a one-shot critical hit. Don't know if it mattered. Ice Beam on the Nidoking, super effective. And Rhydon is the last Pokemon. One-hit knockout, very good. Giovanni number 3 is a cakewalk. Super easy, barely an inconvenience. Do you know what YouTube channel that's from? If you do, let me know in the comment section down below. Just a little bit of quiz on your new YouTube knowledge. And we move right into our final rival battle before the Elite Four. This rival battle is going to come out. Pidgeot's going to come out. He cannot do anything to us, really. So we're going to go ahead and set up, withdraw. Get all the way set up. Now here's the problem. Look in the bottom left corner. Our experience bar is about halfway. So that means we're going to level up in the middle of this battle. So all this badge boosting us for nothing except for the physical defense. And Gyarados comes out and go for Tri-Attack on Gyarados. Still two-shot. No matter how much we're boosted, still two-shot. Growlithe comes out. Bubble Beam will knock it out. So good. And we made a mistake keeping Bubble Beam this long. We should have changed up the moveset, and I'll go over that here in a little bit. But we do not knock out the Alakazam. We lost our badge boost, and we lose to Alakazam and our rival. So we're going to come back. We're going to give one rare candy to up our level to 47, which will hopefully prevent us from leveling up in the middle of battle. So we're going to do this again. We're going to withdraw all the way up to +6, which is going to boost all of our stats by 12.5%. And once we get all the way boosted, very good. Now we have full stats, and we can one-shot the Pidgeot. Critical hit there, don't know if it mattered. Don't think it did. Critical hit there. We're critical hitting a lot for a Pokemon that's not really fast. Ice Beam, one hits the Gyarados. That was good. Bubble Beam, one hits the Growlithe. That's good as well. Tri-Attack, one hits the Alakazam. Not even a contest. And then Venusaur, Ice Beam, one hit. Very good. We level up at the end of the battle. We beat our rival and move right on to the Elite Four. We are poised to have a very good time with this Pokemon, but before we go into the Elite Four, we're going to look at our stats and our moves really quick. Attack is 157, defense is 254, speed is 128, and special is 146. In the bottom left corner, you can see the stats modified with our badges that are boosting our stats. Attack is 176. This is our in-battle stats, I should say. Defense is 258, speed is 144, and special is 164. Let's look at our move set. Now, this is where something I think I could do better in the next playthrough. Ice Beam is a solid move. We're going to keep that stab. That's not a question. Bubble Beam is a move we should have added. We should have switched out and added Surf. So that should have been a move we added, but we have Bubble Beam going to the Elite Four. Tri-Attack is our good physical move, and obviously Withdrawal is our badge boosting move. With that being said, let's go ahead and head into the Elite Four. We're at 41 minutes and 50 seconds. We're poised for a decent time. Definitely under 50 minutes. Let's see how we do. His first battle with Lorelei is a slog, and it is a pain in the butt because I did not play this correctly. So Dugong has Growl, and it also has Rest. So we got to knock this thing out as quickly as possible, or it's going to use Growl and lower our attack stat. Our badge boost is completely ineffective against this Pokemon, because this Pokemon will continuously go for Growl and counter all the badge boosting we're doing to up our physical attack stat. Tri-Attack would probably do pretty well if it wasn't for the fact that Growl keeps getting lowered every time this Pokemon does. It lowers my attack stat every time it does Growl. So all the other stats are getting boosted, which is good. However, we just don't have a great move for Dugong. And we didn't plan for this well, and this could have been bad. I should have kept Surf. I should have put Surf on. Surf would have been a lot more powerful, and it's taken forever to knock out this first Pokemon, which is annoying, but it is what it is. So physical moves are pretty much inoperable with this Pokemon at this point. Okay, now we're going to finish Bad's boosting on the Cloyster. Can't really do much to us. We have full defensive stats at this point. But like I said, our physical attacking stats are just garbage right now. It's 86 is what our attack stat is. So we have to rely on using special moves on Pokemon that have high special. Even though our special is boosted, they still have good special / special defense. So this battle becomes a lot more convoluted than it has to be. Look at that. Thrash only did like 3 or 4 damage there. So our defense is boosted. That's good. However, special moves are still going to do damage. And here's the thing we don't want. We didn't want 2 things in this. We didn't want to get confused by Lapras. We also don't want to get paralyzed. So we get confused first, do a little bit of damage to ourselves, and now we're paralyzed. And so now it's just a battle of, can we fight through the paralysis? Can we actually just fight through and just hit this Pokemon and beat him? We eventually do, but it was like 2 minutes for that battle. We walked in there at 41 minutes and like 50 seconds. And now we're at 43 minutes, 50 seconds going into our second battle in the Elite Four, which is against Bruno, the Lost Hiker. We're going to withdraw and just up our stats real quick. We just leveled up, so we have no possible option of leveling up in battle with a slow level up Pokemon, and we're just going to Ice Beam our way through this entire team. It's fully boosted. Hitmonlee goes down, Hitmonchan went down, Onix goes down, and then Machamp is Machamp one shot, or if you tank it, he gets one shot as well. So we do sweep Bruno's team, which is good. However, that first battle with Lorelei, if we clean that up, we definitely save ourselves about 2 minutes of time in the next playthrough. Now we're going to face Agatha. Agatha has the lottery where she puts sleep, confuse you, paralyze you, and poison you. So we're going to mimic Hypnosis. She does confuse us, which is bad. If we just hit a Hypnosis, we can potentially set up, which is what we want to do. So we're going to go for Withdrawal. 1, 2. Wakes up. We're going to go for Hypnosis again. Actually, Ice Beam does not knock out. We should have went for Hypnosis. Because we put it back to sleep, we can get fully set up, then Ice Beam can knock out. Now, here's where I made a mistake. I get knocked out, obviously. But in the top left corner, whenever the thing comes back up, look how many Ice Beams I have. I did not give my Pokemon an Elixir. So I only have 6 Ice Beams. So I actually get pretty good well set up in this. I just misplayed this. And we end up having to get another reset here in a couple seconds. So you'll see that here in a minute. Hypnosis, we don't get, confused. And we get confused now because we missed a Hypnosis. But now we hit a Hypnosis. Go for Withdrawal. So there's 1 setup. There's 2. Golbat comes out. And we're just going to put Golbat to sleep. Very good. Withdrawal. Very good. Withdrawal again. We're almost there. Now, we can only do it 5 times because once we get to 999, we can't do it. We can't do Withdrawal again up our defense. So Ice Beam 2 shots to Gengar. Ice Beam 1 shots to Haunter. That means we have 2 Ice Beams left. And we stupidly used Ice Beam on the R-Box. So now we don't have a move that can actually hit Gengar. Try Attack is a normal move. Won't hit it. Hypnosis doesn't do damage. And Withdrawal, technically we could probably drain out all of our PP. But we just got poisoned, so that's not going to happen. So we have to take another reset here because I stupidly did not give my Pokemon an Elixir and I stupidly mismanaged my power points in this battle. So another reset. Again, another thing that could save time in the next playthrough by just playing this battle a little bit smarter. It's going to happen, and maybe Surf would be better to have than Try Attack because then, we just have Ice Beam and Surf and we can maybe mimic a physical damaging move on other battles. But with that being said, we did have to take a reset. So we have 4 resets so far in this game. We're at just about 47 minutes. And we have 2 more members of Elite Four. We're going to get this done under 50 minutes? That is the question. We're going to mimic Hypnosis. This strategy's been working great. Agatha's AI is so dumb. She just went for Dream Eater and we're not even asleep yet. She hasn't even attempted to put us to sleep. So she just assumed we walked into the battle asleep. That's pretty crazy. Bruno doesn't have the ability to put us to sleep. And how we beat Bruno? I don't know. She's crazy. But we get fully set up. And now, since we have enough Ice Beams, we can just one-shot everything with Ice Beam. And we're going to one-shot the last Gengar. We are not, however, Nightshade does not do enough to knock us out. We beat Agatha, and we're going to move right on to Lance. Now, Lance is a Dragon Trainer, and he really can't do anything to us because we have Ice Beam. We don't have to set up very much. We're going to set up on the Gyarados, I believe. We already have good defense, but Gyarados is going to give us the opportunity to set up. He actually leers us, lowering our defense by a stage, but upping our attacks. And Ice Beam will 2-shot the Gyarados. He's frozen solid, which gives us the opportunity to set up some more. We probably don't need it, but we're going to set up anyway, because Ice Beam is going to obliterate this entire team. And I keep hitting Withdrawal, so there's a couple seconds saved there by not hitting Withdrawal a couple more times. Dragonair will be a one-shot because it's weak to Ice moves. Dragonair number 2 will be a one-shot as well. Aerodactyl would be a one-shot as well. And then we have Dragonite, who is 4 times weak to Ice. And so we obliterate Lance, and now all we do is have to go face the champion. Now the champion, here's where it can save some time as well, is just being more efficient with the champion. Let's go and watch this battle. We're at 48 minutes and 55 seconds. Will we get this done under 50 minutes? Let's find out. So first, we're going to go for withdrawal on the Pidgeot. If we didn't have these animations, I think it'd speed it up a little bit. This battle is automatically shows the animation. So our defense is super boosted. I do not care if they hit me with Sky Attack. I should have gone for Ice Beam. Once we're super boosted, I keep clicking withdrawal. I just get like in a habit of tap, 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 tap on that withdrawal, and it kind of messes with me a little bit. We're going to go for recover. And like I said, we're not going to get hit by that much. We're going to go for Tri Attack on the Alakazam. It should be a one-shot. Very good. And now Rhydon comes out. We're going to go for recover on the Rhydon. Very good. And we're going to go for Ice Beam on the Rhydon. One shot. Very good. Gyarados comes out. We're going to go for Ice Beam on the Gyarados. He hits us with a Hyper Beam, which does nothing at all. We're going to recover because he has to heal. And we're going to go for Tri Attack, knock him out. Arcanine's the next Pokemon. We're going to go for Tri Attack on the Arcanine. It's going to be a two-shot. Ember doesn't do anything to us. Knock it out. Very good. And the last Pokemon, which is Venusaur, Ice Beam, should one-shot unless a critical hit, which we don't. We knock it out. We level 62. We beat our rival, and we're going to get a time locked in at 49 minutes, 55 seconds. Now, I already told you, there's probably ways we can save at least 3 to 4 minutes off this battle by just being a little bit smarter and being a little bit more prepared. So, with that being said, let's go and look at the tier maker. Now, something with the tier maker, tier list real quick, before I actually put where Cloyster is supposed to be on this tier list. On Wednesday, we played through with Poliwrath, and for a while, Machamp was number 1 on our list with a time of 43 minutes and 13 seconds. Now, Poliwrath played through on Wednesday and beat the game at 41 minutes and 26 seconds. I firmly believe now there's a possibility of beating this game and getting under 40 minutes with Poliwrath. I know Machamp can do it because I've seen Scott's Thoughts do it. He does play by slightly different rules than me, but he got done like 37 minutes, so there's a way. I just don't know if I'm as proficient as he is in the game, so that might be a future playthrough in the future. The rule is everyone's supposed to get 2 playthroughs. And I'm making the rule that some Pokemon will get 3 if they showcase that a 3rd playthrough could get them a better result and like maybe like move them up a tier. So some Pokemon are going to have that. Poliwrath and Machamp probably going to get a 3rd playthrough. Maybe some of these Ice-type will. However, we have to put Cloyster on this list somewhere. So based on the time, 49 minutes, 55 seconds, that puts Cloyster right here. Right here behind Charizard, right under this, in the sub 50 category, which is still a good category. And like I was saying in the beginning, you know, we're trying to figure out who the best Ice-type is. There's a lot of good Ice-types, and with second playthroughs, you never know what can happen. What I will say is Ice-type is making a very compelling case to be the best type in Generation 1. Of the top, what is that, 8 Pokemon right now, 4 of them are Ice-type. And I think Fighting-type actually has a compelling case to be a pretty good one, too. So what I'm going to do at the end of all this, whenever everything's said and done, I'm going to average out all the times and see what the average time is. Now, Jinx does drag these numbers down for the Ice-types, but in the same breath, Hitmonchan kind of brings down the numbers for the Fighting type, so that's a thing as well. But the Ice types are really showcased to be probably one of the best types in Generation 1, and I think that might be like a dark horse best type. There are some other good types, like I have not played through a Psychic yet. I think Psychic's going to obliterate this game, but Ice types have definitely made a compelling case to be the best type in Generation 1. But without further ado, that's the video. Next week, Wednesday, I don't really know what I'm going to do on Wednesday. I don't know if I want to showcase some of the fights with the Ice types, because I got to redo some playthroughs. Actually, no, Wednesday, I decide I'm going to do my playthrough of Dragonite. So Dragonite is the only dragon type in Generation 1, so all we have to do is do the playthrough, and that's the end of it. And I can post that on Wednesday, and then Friday we'll have the recap of all the Ice types with the replays done. And we'll see where these all rank, see if maybe one of these Ice types takes over Poliwrath as the #1 Pokemon for a while. We'll see. But let me know what you think about this playthrough in the comment section down below. What do you think of Cloyster? What do you think I could do better? What do you think I should do as a what if? I've done a couple of those. But let me know what you think. Have a good one. I'll see you guys next time.